morning, welcome to Wednesday night on HQ Trivia. I'm Beric Livingstone. If you've got the midweek blues, then just remember that in the UK, we have the best Wednesdays. Nobody is asking why, Beza, why, and I'm going to tell you anyway. Our word Wednesday comes from Woden'sdag, which means Odin's Day. Odin's ruler of the Norse gods. Compare that with places like France, Spain, Italy. They've named Wednesday after Mercury, so they call it Mercredi, Miércoles, and so on. Mercury's pretty much the Roman version of Greek Apollo, messenger of the gods, basically the postman. So for them, today is Postman Day. For us, today rules. So maybe Odin will bring you some luck as you battle it out for a slice of our £1,000 prize. Get all 12 questions right to win. Use brains, luck, extra lives, pray to the Norse gods, whatever it takes. Let's get straight on with Q1. Someone who discloses confidential information is said to be doing what? Juggling the spuds, spilling the beans, throwing a cabbage. Food for thought there, but there's no time to phone Jamie Oliver. Put them together and you've got a proper food fight. But who's the snitch here? Blabbing over breakfast, it's spilling the beans. Yes, and don't cry over spilled milk if you got it wrong, but 85,578 of you got it right. The phrase has been in use since 1908, so we should probably stop storing our secrets in our baked beans. Q2. What's the last name of Sylvester Stallone's fictional boxer whose forename is Rocky? Blue Bottle, Balboa, Balsamic. Who's feeling fly like Sly? Who's feeling a little rocky? I couldn't even go half a round with balsamic vinegar. But what was Rocky's actual surname? Keeping things above the belt, it's Balboa. Gonna fly now, 82,710 of you. Stallone picked up an Oscar nomination for reading his lines and another one for writing them in the first place. And 625 of you did not get an Oscar for thinking it was balsamic vinegar. Whatever. Tomorrow night is theme night, and this one gives me the best chance yet to dress up because it is fashion. Even if you think you know nothing about fashion, give it a whirl because it will be fun and it will be hilarious. Just time for a quick hello to David and Dot McGeeky, to Lois, Judy, Tammy, Lauren, Michaela and Rachel, and finally to Suzanne and Bethy. Hello to you all. Onwards to Q3. The novel Les Miserables is mainly set in which city? Las Vegas, Paris, Coventry. Yeah, the 1862 novel, 1935 movie with 3 Oscar nominations, 1937 radio play by Orson Welles, and so many other adaptations, including, of course, the musical. Well, losing your life savings will make anyone misérable, but Vegas was not the backdrop to this Ms. Always getting plastered, it's Paris. Yes, and if you got that right, 81,134 if you did, then you are the victor, and Hugo on to the next round. Author Victor Hugo argued for the end of the death penalty, but Russell Crowe singing made us wish we still had it. Q4. What's the name for the coloured part of the eye that surrounds the pupil? Poppy, Ella, Iris. Aye. Bit of an anatomical question here. I spy with my little eye, something beginning with some people who are confused. It's the bit that makes your eyes pop, but that's not what we call them here. More of a flower than a Fitzgerald, it's the iris. The iris that contains the crypts of Fuchs and the folds of Schwalbe. Yes, very Tolkienian. Anyway, 80,310 if you knew that. The iris regulates the amount of light that enters the eye, though the fact that sunglasses exist means that they aren't very good at it. Q5. Herman Melville's epic 1851 novel was first published in Britain with which title? The Sailor, the Sea, the Whale. It wasn't very well reviewed when it came out. One critic called it a perfect failure, like having oil, mustard, vinegar and pepper served up as a dish in place of being scientifically administered sauce-wise. That critic criticised Herman Melville's writing. Anyway, we know it as Moby Dick now, but what was its original title? Better under the water than above it, it was The Whale. Yeah, he named it after a real whaling accident. 37,271 if you got that right, but that's the first savage question of the day. With 29,000 thinking sailor, 11,000 thinking the sea. Now, if you enjoy savagery and savage questions, then join us on Saturday, because Saturday is Savage Saturday. All the questions will be savage. What will happen then? Will we just have one winner? Will we have no winners? Will we have a rollover? It's going to be amazing. Find out Saturday. Okay, Melville changed the name shortly after releasing, realising that nothing sells books like a raunchy title. Q6. Which of these people has appeared in EastEnders? Prince Charles, Amanda Holden, David Hasselhoff. Now, anyone can fall in love with a job on EastEnders. Emma Bunton actually auditioned for the role of Bianca back before the Spice Girls. What a different show that would have been. If you went for the Hoff, then you're in need of an extra lifeguard. Better at sending people to the Royal Variety than sitting through it. It's Amanda Holden. And hold on a minute. 18,085, if you got that right. We lost just over half of you there. Charles has appeared in Coronation Street, but has yet to start a slagging match in Albert Square. Q7. Which US territory was partly occupied by Japanese forces during World War II? American Samoa, Puerto Rico, Alaska. Japan itself, of course, was occupied for the first time in its history after World War II. Now, it's certainly warm on the map, but you're freezing cold if you chose Puerto Rico. Talking of freezing, it was Alaska. Alaska, the right answer, and 5,588. If you got that right, the second savage question of the day, because alas, 14,000. Got it wrong. Tune in for Super Saturday if you enjoy that. They occupied the islands of Kiska and Attu, looking to protect the northern flank of their empire. Should have looked further south, I guess. Q8. The 80s hit movie, 3 Men and a Baby, was directed by an actor best known for playing which part? Seinfeld, Starsky, Spock. 3 Men, Baby. It was the hit of '87, the highest grossing movie in the US that year, and the highest grossing remake of a French film in US box office history. Yeah, it was called Toison et un couffin, which doesn't mean coffin, it means cradle in France. Anyway, Jerry Seinfeld was played by Jerry Seinfeld, but neither of them directed this one. Preferring Star Trek than Starsky, it was Spock. Yes, Spock. Leonard Nimoy, 1,984. Another savage question. Triple savagery already in this game, and it will be 12 rounds of super savagery on Saturday. Seems Leonard Nimoy was a legend behind the camera as well as in front of it because he got a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Q9. Which of these countries' national libraries has the largest catalogue of items? Germany, Spain, Denmark. Which of these three? Because of course the largest in the world is the British Museum, which has 150 to 200 million items, including 8.3 million items of philatelic origin. That means stamps. Do we need 8.3 million stamps in the library? I don't know. Got a lot of letters. The Livingstone Library is pretty vast, but who has 35.4 million books in theirs? Boasting even more books than it has pigs, it's Denmark. Denmark, the right answer, 1,208 if you got that right. The game is getting quite exciting now. If every person in Denmark took out 6 books, there'd still be millions of books on the shelves. Q10. In tennis, which of these players is the only one to have won the US Open on 3 different surfaces? John McEnroe, Jimmy Connors, Pete Sampras. The US Open, the first Grand Slam to use the Hawkeye. He broke a racket on 3 different surfaces, but that's as close as McEnroe got here. Double the M's, triple the surface, it was Jimmy Connors. Jimmy Connors, who spent 268 weeks at 268 weeks he spent at number 1, and he had 109 men's singles titles. He won the tournament on grass, clay, and acrylic here, but has he won it on Xbox? He probably has, actually. Q11. Which of these car brands was the last to produce a model that had a cassette player? Lexus, Jaguar, Audi. The last one with a cassette player. Love a bit of cassette myself. They're always looking to get ahead of the latest technology, but who was still giving us cassettes in 2010? Getting well and truly lapped here. It's Lexus. Toyota's luxury brand loves a cassette. 620 of you getting that right. With how many? 50 of you using extra lives. 53 using extra lives to get back in. 67? Oh, you're still using them. 67 people using extra lives to get back in. Okay, this is the end of side A. Please turn over for the final round. £1,000 still to play for. 67 using extra lives and 620 getting Q11 right. What will happen as we go into Q12? Despite rising sea levels, which of the following island nations is reported to be growing larger? Tuvalu, the Maldives, Mauritius. Sea levels rising, so is the tension. 3 places vying to be the next Atlantis, but who actually gained land over the last 40 years? Mauritius ditched its dodos ages ago, but it's still slowly sinking. Rocking almost as many reefs as it is people, the Pacific islands of Tuvalu for the win. And toodaloo to everyone else, but well done to 455 winners tonight. 455 winners. I did not see that coming after triple savagery in this game. It was almost one of those super savage games. Well, huge congratulations to you lot. You've got £2.20 for your brilliant work through 12 tricky trivia challenges. To Parcam, who looks very serious and got his finger on his lips there. To Diaper Jig 4C, it's got the Pampers symbol on there. Pampers turned up in 3 Men and a Baby. They paid them $50,000 to be in that movie. Coincidence? Strange. Like the Twilight Zone, this show. To Benito Genra, who's got a lovely blue hat on and looks like she's just graduated. Well done to all of you. It's great to see you all. You were the rulers of this Wednesday. I'm Beric Livingstone. Find me on Twitter or Instagram. Follow me if you would like. Send me a shout request or just say hi. Look out for Savage Saturday. Don't miss the fashion theme night tomorrow at 9. But our next show is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Our regular game with loads to learn. Another grand to be won. Really hope you can join us then. In the meantime, make the most of the rest of Odin's Day. Goodbye.